From the compound angle, so we can do some simultaneous equation. They will find that something is part of it, how we derive the factor formula. Okay, firstly, let's say this is a compound angle involves a sine A plus B and sine A minus B. So when we are doing the first equation minus the second equation, you will find that it will become sine A plus B minus sine A minus B. So if I put a plus, then it will become plus. Okay, so when we're doing the plus, we'll find that the cos A sine B and the cos A sine B were eliminated. So you get a 2 sine A cos B. So from here, you should notice that how I can getting the A, how I can getting the B. Okay, so you take a look. So in order to getting the A, you will find that actually the A is the summation of this and the average. Okay, for example, it's a plus B plus A minus B divided by 2. Okay, so you found that is equals to 2A over 2, right? So which is A. So this is how we get it. So same thing goes to the B. So when these two, if we minus, right, the B is like something, the angle in front of it minus the angle after it. When we divide it by 2, we also get the B. So it means that if we want to convert the summation form to the product form, we have to find the average of the angle and then divide it by 2 divided by 2. So we will say that this will become like the 2 angle A plus B divided by 2, A minus B divided by 2, if the angles is A and B. Okay, so same goes to the second one. If we are doing the first one minus the second one. So what you notice from here, if the first one minus the second one, we will get the sine A plus B minus sine A minus B. So you found that it's a 2 cos A sine B. So that's why from these two, we can conclude that S plus S equal to SC. S minus S equal to CS. If involve the compound angle, which is sine A plus B and also sine A minus B. So the same thing, we can proceed to the cos as well. So when you are given the cos A plus B, the compound angle is a cos A cos B minus sine A sine B. This is our previous knowledge. So same goes to the cos A minus B. So we get that is a cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. So I label this as a 3 and this as a 4. So when I'm doing the summation, it's about cos plus cos. Cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. So what did you notice? The terms with negative 1, it will be eliminated. So you get a 2 cos A cos B. So when you are doing the third minus the fourth one, then it will become cos A plus B minus cos A minus B. And you found that it's a negative 2 sine A sine B. That's why this one we will call it C plus C equal to CC. C minus C equal to negative 2 S. Okay, so this is what we call it, factor formula.
Okay, let me show you some example. Okay, so from the explanation, and we know that in order to apply the factor formula, we must know about S plus S, S minus S, C plus C, C minus C. So we have to know that what is the pattern that you can get. So S plus S equal to SC, S minus S equal to CS. This is a 2cc and this is a negative 2s. And remember, when there is a summation form to the product form, we must finding the average. Okay, finding average. So when we mention about finding average, automatically you know that you have to divide it by 2. Okay, for example, okay, express as sine 3x plus sine x in product form. Okay, so firstly you have to notice that this is a S plus S. So this case. So you write it as a sine 3x plus sine x is equal to 2 sine, and then put the framework 2 sine cos. So we already mentioned that if some product is finding the average of the angle, so you have the 3x, you have the x. So in front of it is a plus, so it's a 3x plus x divided by 2. And then this one will become 3x minus x divided by 2. So lastly you get a 2 sine 2x cos x. So this is the answer. Okay, so how about if we want to finding from product back to summation form? the same situation. Let's say we use back the example. Okay, so this is 2 sine 2x cos x. Okay, so again, you are finding 2 as c. Right, now it's time for you to figure out it's a 2 as c. 2 as c. So it means it's this pattern as well. So it means the framework will become sine plus sine. Sine plus sine. It's a reverse process only. Okay, so if product to sum, if you don't need to find the average, you just straight away finding the summation of the angle. So your angle is 2x and x. So it will become 2x plus x. And then this one will become 2x minus x. So try to simplify it again. So you found that is equals to sine 3x plus sine x. Is it the same? Okay, maybe let us proceed to another example. Let's say if I'm using cos. Okay, for example, the second example, express two sine 3x sine x as summation form. Okay, so look at it, 2ss. So we don't have 2ss, we only have negative 2xx. So it means we have to do some pattern. Okay, we have to express it as 2 sine 3x sine x is equivalent to negative 2 sine 3x sine x. Why we have to do so? Because we are going to forming the framework of the factor formula. Because from the factor formula we don't have 2ss, we only have negative 2ss. Okay, so in this part, the terms that we highlighted, which is equivalent to c plus c, right? C minus c. So it means will become negative cos in bracket minus cos in bracket. So inside it will become 3x plus x, and this will become 3x minus x. Okay, lastly, let us simplify it again. It will become negative cos 4x minus cos 2x. So you can expand it into it. So you will find that is cos 2x minus cos 4x. Okay, so maybe I'll give you another one example. Okay. How about if the question is given as express 6 sine 5x cos 3x in summation form. Okay, so again, SC. So as we know that SC, it must be coefficient with 2. So we need to modify it become with a 2, but you have to make sure it's equivalent. So it will be 3 times with 2 sine 5x cos 3x. So again, the highlighted terms only can apply this factor formula. 2SC. 2SC. So it means 2SC equals to S plus S. So this one it will be equivalent to 3. Just copy down. And this one will be sine plus sine. Okay, so the angle is 5x and 3x. 5x plus 3x. And this one will be 5x minus 3x. So lastly, you will get that 3 sine 8x plus sine 2x. Settle.